Thomas Shelby, the Peaky Blinder. Cillian Murphy, Irishman, fellow Irishman. So, landscape page, pencil eraser, sketch it out lightly, hit pause if we go too fast. Let's go. Center point here, come up, over to the right, and we start with those big old eyes of his. Standard human eye. So we go diagonal at first, right? So starting with like the tear duct sort of area. And we'll gradually curve it around, right? Okay, curved line. And then your tear duct comes back in here. And then this goes down and up into the corner there as well. Whew. Okay, so we're gonna add a tear duct just in here. Right. And then we want to add those big eyelashes of his. So they are unbelievably massive. So, like, well, for a male anyway. So we'll go this direction first. You want to just like curve them sort of up, kind of make them hairy looking. Some of them go like right down that way as well, actually, on this side. Right, and like in the middle of his eye, like here, they will change direction, right? So that'll go like straight up, and then they'll start going this way. And they'll gradually get smaller as they get sort of down closer to the tear duct. So they just kind of get sort of dark line. Right. And then the bottom eyelid lines, you just do like a little sort of dot and dash line just to guide you at first, right? And then you want to like do some eyelashes coming out from there, right? And he does have fairly big eyelashes on the bottom as well. Smaller than the top, but there is a few of them. Okay. Do. So, big blue eyes, Frank Sinatra, curves around, iris, touches just the skin of his eyelid there. Okay, and then the pupil somewhere in the middle, just a circle. You get it as circular as you can, but it doesn't have to be like a perfect circle or anything. Okay, human eye. Now, he has like he's very pronounced sort of forehead, like brow area, like really sticks out, and his cheekbones as well. It's all kind of connected down the side of his eye, right? But his eyelid lines are quite big. Okay, so say like you can nearly see like the socket of his skull, sort of like it's kind of, he's very bony. So like this comes across like around that eyeball shape. Okay, quite big, right? And then he's got like just some bags underneath his eyes, like nothing major, but it is just visible just down here a little bit. Okay, so his eyebrow sits right out on top of the eyelid line here. So we'll go, say like, we'll start a little bit hairy just here. We'll just start with a few hairs, right? And then we'll add our sort of standard eyebrow shape. It comes right across the top of this eyelid line. You could do this a sketchy line if you want, or you could go smooth. I think I'll go sketchy on this one because he has quite hairy eyebrows. And it curves right down around this bone of his brow, right? Curves down there, say. And then you want to go back up. And then it goes right back into these hairs. Okay. There might be a bit of a nose line or something here. So we go over now, do the other eye. Same thing again, so mirror image, right? And you're about eye width over. So you measure your eye. That fits in between the tear ducts. So a human eye the human eyes are an eye width apart. So here, that will give you your measurement. You could measure it with a ruler as well if you wanted. But it will give you where your tear duct starts, right? You see that there? There and there are about the same. Okay. And then we'll do this just mirrored on the other side. Now it doesn't have to be exact same, like humans have one eye that's bigger or smaller than the other anyway. Right. But we're just generally trying to copy this side over here. And again, if you want to sketch lines down the middle to find your center and all that kind of stuff, you can do that. So tear ducts then. And that curved part of his eye underneath. So we'll add our line for our tear duct. And then big old eyelashes. And remember, they go left on this side, and when you get to the middle, you'll change the direction so it goes like vertical there, and then it starts to go the other way. And it gets gradually smaller as it gets down towards his tear duct. And then that dots and sort of dashes line just to mark out where his bottom eyelash line is, and they're quite big down here as well. Big circular iris comes down from top eyelid. Touches the bottom eyelid there. And like so. Trying to get them roughly the same. And then we put the pupil somewhere in the middle. Okay, so then big eyelid lines again on top. So he's got a real big one. So we go diagonal up there, and then it like comes around that eye socket area. Right. And he could have sort of some bags underneath his eyes kind of here as well. Kind of light lines just going around here. And we go for that eyebrow again. So again, we'll go sort of real hairy at the front, and then we'll go underneath. And again, you can go a smooth line if you want, or textured sort of sketch lines like this. And it kind of follows sort of the shape for his his brow. And then it starts to go back up the other side. And then we'll go down this way, back towards the front. Okay. So that's his eyebrows pretty much, right? You got a bit of a nose line again, coming down on the inside here as well. So that's his eyes, more or less. Now, nose. So he doesn't have much in the way of a bridge of a nose, right? There's a light sort of line just here on the side. It kind of gets wider as it goes down. Right, but when nose is less, is kind of more. So we're going to jump down now and do nostrils. So just skip a bit and then down to here, right? And then a nostril on the other side. Right, we want to like darken these holes up a little bit just to make them look a bit shadowed inside. And then these are joined together with the bridge of, or the piece of skin that goes in between. And it kind of curves into there. And then we have the nostrils on the side of his face, so they curve around here, like underneath the tear duct usually is where they line up. And then another one sort of across from here. This one seems higher up, but we should be all good still. Okay, and then he does have like little extra sort of lines on the bridge of his nose, kind of here, sort of, just like very light, kind of comes down towards the front of his nose there. Wide tip of his nose sort of going in that way. And like some little hatching lines and stuff is kind of all you really need for that kind of a thing, because noses are drawn in, you know, with shadow mostly. So I wouldn't do much more than that. And maybe just some lines for the bridge of his nose on the side. So these kind of... right, just where it joins sort of his eye, kind of. Right. I think that's all I want to do for his nose there now. Okay, so mouth, right? Very pronounced lips and mouth. So let's go for this. Down here, you're underneath the inside of the iris. That's where the mouth starts. So just below this, the blue color of his eye. Sort of there, right? So lips, the center line for the lip curves up, down in the middle, and then back up the other side. And then its top lip curves up, down in the middle, back up, and down. It's like a stretched out letter M. At least that's what it looks like to me anyway. And then his bottom lip line. Just there. And then his chin sort of line underneath here. There could be some shadow just underneath the bottom lip. And then it's worth adding this line on the top lip as well sometimes. So he has a really square chin and jaw, right? And like roughly speaking, his eye to his nostrils is about the same as nostrils to chin, roughly. Say like the bottom of his nose there to top eyelid, about the same as bottom eyelid to where his chin would be. Very sort of square chin, right? So like this space and this space are nearly the same. Maybe it's like a bit bigger actually. He might have a longer chin. So like, we'll go like, yeah, that and that. The eyes, the nose is usually halfway between the eyes and the chin, roughly. So there, we'll go top eyelid, bottom of the nose, about the same as bottom of the nose to the chin there. And then bottom of the nose to the bottom lip there is about the same as bottom of the lip, bottom lip to the chin. So that's normally halfway between your nose, the bottom of it, the nostril area, and the chin. So here and here, about the same. Okay, so and his jaw is very, very wide. So it goes, so you got like a bit of like a, goes like you're aiming for sort of the edge of the eyebrow across from maybe his bottom lip. Right? Like that sort of a shape. And his chin line can come up here a little bit. And then we do the sort of the same thing on this side. So it's quite gradual, right? So it starts to turn now in, it goes in and then out again for his cheekbones. And it's quite exaggerated, so it comes, say like around, and then it starts to curve inward on the nose line, sort of into here. Quite wide jaw, and then it goes out for his cheekbones and then back in towards his eyebrows, right? So we go out again and back in towards the eyebrow, the tip of the eyebrow there. Right, so we carve it out. And then back in to here. So that's like the outward shape of his face, right? And then he has like these really accentuated cheekbones, right? So like here, sort of. And then they travel down like sort of beside his mouth a little bit there. So very sort of big. It's kind of like this bone of his, like I said, it goes around his eye. It's like very, sticks out a good bit. It's basically his skull is like visible. And then the mouth line sort of there. And then there's a little sort of line coming down from the nose, a light one. You don't want to do too much of this because it makes him look sort of wrinkly and old. So finding the perfect balance is what we're after. especially with line drawings, you know, unless you were like shading and stuff, it'd be a different story. So then, so he's got like a shaved side of his head, right? So he's got like a bit of a sideburn here. So it's like a V. It's kind of like a sketchy line running up for the side of his head and goes underneath his sort of longer hair here. So it's all sort of shaved going up here. And sort of a V here as well. Sketchy sort of shaved side of his head. Very severe shave. And his hairline just goes up this way underneath his fringe there somewhere. So his ears then sort of stick out here. You're sort of in line with his top eyelid. And then we can add ear lines inside. Kind of like this J shape. And then you can add a few more details then inside. Okay, it's not bad. I think that looks like him anyway. He could have some like just lines on his brow here, like some sort of wrinkles just coming across the brow, just to give that a bit of shape. And one coming across his forehead, underneath his hair. So then his hair. So I chose an image with hair rather than that hat of his. Just because his hairstyle is kind of unique. So is the hat, but I don't know, I just thought the hair kind of looked better. So we got like some fringe lines here. Right, so it kind of like starts, it's like very shaved on the side and then it gets just long here. Right. And there's a part like right on the line here. So like some of the hair goes down this way and then some goes that way. And it's kind of messy. It's not sort of combed. It's kind of loosely going that way. And then starts to go across here. Combs across this way now. So just adding sort of general fringe spikes going this way, and then it kind of like just goes around here. A little bit kind of sticks up that way. And then we'll join it to this side now, so it kind of just bumps across here. hair can be challenging. So we're just going to add like texture lines and stuff in here then. Just light little sort of lines. And shaved texture lines here, which is just little dots and dashes, like little stuff like that, right? Do. So just trying to add maybe some darker areas where the main shape is. Okay, but that's not bad, I think. Tricky. Right, very characteristic face. So he does. So then his neck comes down from his jaw here, and then here. And this collar to there, and then to there, and it's kind of just buttoned across here. And then the sort of V for it of the collar is right here. And the white of it comes down, and then past here is his waistcoat, sort of. And there could be some like stitching on the shirt, like a seam sort of thing. It's like a grandfather shirt underneath, so it goes across that way and then that way. And then we got like neck muscles here, and then Adam's apple sort of. And then the tie. So he seems to have a suit jacket on, but it's like, it's quite wide. So we'll go, comes out from behind the shirt, sort of going this way. And we'll just get the sort of shoulders in. You're about head width over for where the shoulder sort of ends, right? So like the width of his face will bring you out to the end of his collarbone there, or the end of his suit. Right, same on this side. Right, so it just goes, boom. And male shoulders are about 3 heads across. And then that suit jacket. So it seems to have like, it's a 3-piece sort of thing. So it goes that way first. Like there's another section to it. And then there's like a little V-like section there. Can't see it on that side. So a bit of a bump there, and then I'm gonna guess. I'm gonna go there and down. Okay, but I think that's the best I can do. Thomas Shelby, Peaky Blinder. Peaky Blinder. Hope it's helpful. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one. Bye.